Hey everyone, welcome back to AFTV. We've got a special live show because Ty's joining us today. It's normally me and Robbie having it out over some refereeing decision, but we've got Ty in the middle here to help us out. But listen, welcome to the Monday night. I know you did bias as well earlier.
I did. Thank you very much for inviting me on.
Well, of course. Listen, I think we've got a very serious tangling of legs to discuss because I've just been getting people's thoughts on the Gabby Jesus pull back in the box. Tangling of legs, apparently.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah.
Course. And Granite would have escaped a caution, wouldn't he? Yeah, of course.
Robbie, how are you?
I've still been trying to. I've completely gotten over that sort of penalty decision or what wasn't given decision. Mm-hmm. And then when you went and showed me that, Dermot Gallagher?
Gallagher.
What he said on Sky about tangle of legs, when the guy's got his arms round. He's got his arms around his back. I mean, why do they even bother wheel out these dinosaurs, right? No, seriously. I mean, he was a terrible ref. Now, we want to get an opinion on something, and they reel this guy out to chat rubbish. Tangle of legs. The guy's got his arms all over Jesus. All over the back of him. I mean, it's why those sort of things are pointless, because it's almost like you're gonna go and come and get me to critique you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna try my best to try and say I'm gonna try my best to try and bail James out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's the point in all that? It's clear for everybody to see.
Yeah,
clear for everybody to see. I don't know.
I just couldn't believe, because I don't care if he's I don't care if he's got the ball, juggled it 3 times. Bicycle kicked it out of the ground. The point is, he's got his arms all over him. It's got nothing to do with whether he's played the ball or not. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever. But look, I know you guys have really had it out on bias as well, talking about refereeing decisions. So
we have.
I turned into him today.
But
he's always normally moaning about referees, but on this one, I'm in agreement. The other thing. Let's take the penalty out.
Yeah.
Take the penalty out of it and take all that out of it, right?
Yeah.
The other thing as well is there needs to be protection for players of flair, players of a lot of skill.
Absolutely.
We see Jesus is the most fouled player in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Saka always getting fouled.
Yeah.
Same with Martinelli.
Yes.
If you actually look around the top teams, whoever their flair player is always getting kicked to bits.
It's hardly getting kicked to bits. I don't see that.
It only a matter of Brussels because he's so big.
Yeah.
Because
someone tried to, and he barged him out of the way and rolled into an empty net. So.
Yeah, but see that's the thing. I just feel that the referees. I know they've brought in this thing this season where they're trying to allow a bit more physicality, and I'm not. Listen, I'm not against that, but you've got to protect the flair players.
Have to.
I can't believe he booked Saka for diving.
Isn't it?
Anyway, listen, we've all had our bit to say on that, but. Otherwise, look, the performance was what it was. A draw probably about right. I thought Southampton came into it quite well, actually, and credit to them. They did show some fight back. I know we missed some big chances. Ultimately, if we take our chances, we win that game.
Yeah.
Because that goal they scored was their only real kind of moment of quality where they pulled us open. Other than that, they had a few bits here and there.
Really disappointing because, I thought that throughout the game, I was in the studio and I was doing it with the guys, and I was applauding Arsenal's defending because we had so many corners to defend, right? And when Ward-Prowse whips those in-swingers in, they're so dangerous, and we dealt with every single one.
We did.
So to concede in the way which we did, by the way, it was a great goal by Southampton, really well worked. That started from their keeper all the way through to, they carved us open with a great, that dummy that did it. You see that little dummy that they did in midfield? Was a bit disappointing, but after that, after Southampton scored, I have to say they were the team on top. They looked the most likely, although Kieran Tierney did have that arm cut back that unfortunately it went out. But
he was fouled.
He
was fouled.
I do think there are a couple.
Wait, hold a minute.
Kieran, he was fouled, wasn't he?
Fouled when?
Because when he went out of play, but he was fouled first before he went out of play.
You think?
Yeah. I think so.
Do you know, I think there are a couple in there that could have been penalties. This is just kind of silly one. You know the Ben White one?
The Ben White push. That could have been a penalty.
I think that could have been a penalty. It's so clumsy.
Yeah.
It's, hands into the back. And, what I appreciate a little bit of contact, players are going to look for it. But he looked quite clearly pushed to me.
You know what? Ty made a very good point earlier. He said, if that one on Gabriel Jesus, if that had been Granit Xhaka running in on the back of one of their players and did that, held him twice, we all know what the outcome would be. That would have been a definite penalty.
And a red card.
You know?
And a red card.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I agree with you. Ash
at the end of the day, we've got to take our chances, like you said.
True.
Ash says, currently overachieving. Arteta has a squad in which he trusts 14 to 15 players. We may have the worst squad depth in the top 6. World Cup break is a blessing.
The worst squad?
Yeah, that's a bit
don't know about that.
harsh. I don't know. Yeah.
Do you know? Big up Ashai still, because he's always always a regular on here, so I respect his opinions. But there's a bit of myth, that we've got this terribly weak squad.
Yeah.
We haven't. We've got a decent squad, right? You know what I mean? Remember, at the moment, Emil Smith-Rowe is out.
Absolutely.
El Neni's out. Right?
Alex as well.
I'm not. By the way, I'm not saying our squad. I'm not saying our squad is good enough. I would like to see our squad strengthened, but think of Zinchenko is another one that's out. Those are 3 players that could start.
Yeah.
Those are 3 players that could start. Definitely, a player like Emil Smith-Rowe in a game like yesterday, when you desperately need a goal to get back in the game, is a great player to bring on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? You could play on that left-hand side and do a much better job than, Eddie's not a left-hand sided player. Zinchenko you could bring on.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? And these guys are missing. We've still got a player like Fabio Vieira. That I know he didn't do well when he come on yesterday, but he's in the squad.
He is.
You know what I mean? Rob Holding as a backup centre-back. So we ain't got a terrible squad. You know what I mean? You look at the right-back position, you know what I mean? You've got Ben White, you've got Tomiyasu, you've got Cedric.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side, you've got Zinchenko and Tierney.
Yep.
Turner's looked okay when he was back up to. So we haven't got a terrible squad. I admit it's nowhere near Man City squad, Chelsea squad, where those squads are ridiculous. But I don't think it's the worst squad in the world. I just want to see. I'll tell you what, my personal opinion, what I'd like to add to the squad, and I've been saying this right from the start of the season, is a midfielder.
Yeah.
And I think a deep lying midfielder.
Yeah.
And I still like to see another striker. I'd still like to see a different type of striker. And I've been saying this for so long, and we saw it yesterday. Wouldn't it have been great yesterday? Yesterday's game is pouring down with rain. The conditions ain't great. You bring on a big guy up front.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, Kieran Tierney can start swinging those balls in.
Yeah.
And everything that these guys have been coping with earlier from Southampton, it's another problem to deal with. But we don't have that type of player, because even when Eddie comes on, Eddie again is not, you're not going to be able to swing across into the box or anything for Eddie. So I think a Mitrovic coming off the bench would be perfect for Arsenal.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Mitrovic, I love Ivan Toney. I don't think any of them are, particularly looking to play second fiddle anywhere, but they've got that quality, that stature, they can make a difference. They can come on. Cavani did that for a long time for Man United. For a couple of years. He was just a different option, wasn't he?
Second fiddle, I was saying this today, if you're a top team, listen, I know we still got ways to go, right?
Sure.
But if you're a top team, and I think this is where getting in the Champions League, I think you could tempt a player like a Mitrovic to come and play at Arsenal and say, you're not going to start, but you're going to play a lot of games. That's when you can tempt player. Look, Calvin Phillips at Man City.
Well, where do you stand on the Jesus stuff? Because there were some, not all, some, whether it be on social media, whether it be fan cams, whether it be whoever I spoke to, saying, look, love Jesus, but we do need someone else. We do need an out-and-out goal scorer. But for years, City didn't have an out-and-out goal scorer like Haaland. And now, they still racked up, A, massive points tallies, but B, massive goal tallies.
Yeah.
So Jesus clearly isn't a problem in terms of the team and their ability to score goals. It's just he hasn't been taking some of his chances in front of goal, Ty.
Yeah, absolutely. But then he's still being put in the work. So I wouldn't criticise him too much, because he's been one of the best players that has come in, along with Alex as well. So no, I wouldn't criticise him too much. I think maybe if there's a criticism, which obviously I'm in no place to criticise anyone, maybe he tries too hard.
I think there is something to that. I think there is something to, he drops into midfield a lot, he pulls out wide, which is great, and that's also part of what makes us so fluid, but he kind of also, does he have that, is he desperate to score? Do you know what I mean? I think there's a fine balance between you want to score so much that you don't really care about the rest of the team.
Yeah.
And you're so focused on the team that maybe you need to do more for yourself a little bit. There's that in between, isn't there? I don't know whether.
Listen,
is that fair?
Very unselfish, yeah.
I think people are going over the top on this Jesus thing. Listen, he has missed a couple of chances. Last week against Leeds, he missed a chance that he should bury that chance.
Yeah. That's right, yeah.
PSV a few.
PSV,
Yes.
he missed a few chances.
he did, yeah.
And again, yesterday, he missed a couple of chances. I think the one, it was a great tackle by Elanusi.
But he should have
I
got
think he's
shot
going
off.
to get shot off.
Yeah.
And, but I think I'd say he's trying too hard and that he's trying too hard to score. Now maybe he's playing on his mind a bit. He's not.
That's interesting.
That's what I feel. But this guy's been absolutely brilliant for us.
Amazing.
Absolutely
course.
brilliant. I know, see, everybody now is benchmarking every striker now with Haaland.
Yeah, that's
If
right.
we had Haaland, well, there's only one Haaland around.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
true. Yeah, you're right.
They're benchmarking every single striker with Haaland. I mean, I saw Son miss a very easy chance yesterday. You know what I mean? So it does happen. I personally, I say, I am so happy that we signed this guy.
Yep, me too.
He's been brilliant for Arsenal, and he's so integral in the way we play.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
I think it will come. You know what I mean? I think it will come.
I agree with
And
you.
when I hear,
Yeah, well
I
said.
heard some ridiculous things of people saying, we should maybe drop him. And by the way, drop him and bring in who?
Exactly.
That's number one, right? Because I do think that's an area in which we are weak in when it comes to squad depth. But why would you drop a guy that has been so good for us all season?
Exactly.
Ain't someone allowed to have an off? He had an off day and he still didn't have a bad game.
Yeah.
No, that's right.
I remember I was doing my player ratings and I was like, I can't give me lower than a 7.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have a bad game. He was causing problems. He should have won a penalty. He was causing problems all throughout the game.
He was.
Right? And I sent you that thing on Saturday, James, didn't it?
Yeah, the dribbler stat.
Which I can't remember who wrote that article, but it was I saw it in the Telegraph, which I thought was a brilliant article where they're talking about the dribbling
Yeah.
of Arsenal this season, how we've gone from being the 17th best team out of 20 in dribbling last season
Yeah.
to now being number 1. And that's a lot of that's to do with Jesus. Because you've got 3 players up front, Jesus, Saka and Martinelli, who all take players on, all run at players.
Yeah.
And it creates a lot of space for other players. Look at the space that Xhaka had to score
goal.
that. Got a wonderful finish.
Yeah.
The same space he also had the other night against PSV, again created, because we've got so many players that are up front that can pick the ball up and drive at defences.
This is true.
So Gabriel Jesus is doing an absolutely fantastic job,
fantastic.
and yeah, he should have buried a couple of those chances yesterday. I don't think he needs. He said he fronted up an interview afterwards,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and said it. But I am very happy
Yep.
with Gabriel Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm completely with you. Canadian Gunner says Jesus is the living embodiment of saying Pep doesn't let players go for no reason. He is good, but is not a striker. They're all entitled to.
Well, he's got more. He's got more goals so far this season than our striker did last.
Yeah.
No striker at Arsenal last season scored more goals than he scored already.
Already, yeah.
And we're only in October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think people just need to, he's missed a couple of chances now. All of a sudden, he's not a striker. I think he is.
Yeah. He is a striker. Brilliant striker.
And you remember, I remember that there was a certain winger that we turned into a striker.
That's right. That's right.
He weren't bad.
The legend. No, he wasn't bad.
But give him a chance, and he
Exactly.
weren't banging him in straight
No,
away.
you're right.
No.
Nicholas Bender
Remember.
was something. You're right.
Remember his first goal? Anybody?
Well, Henry's
Yep.
his first goal for Arsenal.
No, it's not coming to me. Who was it?
Who was against?
Well, there was 2, but I think the first goal he
Why
was
do I
renowned.
always think of the United one. That wasn't his first, but I always think of that.
The first goal
flick
renowned
spin.
is Southampton, if my memory serves me correctly.
Renowned or first goal? You just said
Well,
what the
because
first goal was.
there's 2, because there was one he scored at Middlesbrough, which was unbelievable goal.
Which was his first though?
I think it could have been that one.
No, but you just asked us a question. You know the first goal, and you don't even know yourself.
I do know, but
Yeah, well, which one was it then? Which one was it?
I think it was the goal against
No, you
Middlesbrough.
think? Which one?
It probably was the one against Middlesbrough.
You probably. You guys asking us a question, and you don't even know the answer.
He asked us a trivia question, and then when we didn't give an answer, we went, well, I don't know.
Which one is it?
It's pushed on. It's probably the Middlesbrough goal because it's an amazing goal.
Right, I'm going to Google it.
He went in the first team.
If you get this wrong,
that is hilarious.
But then obviously it's either Middlesbrough or Southampton.
Geiger says Rest should also be interviewed after matches.
Absolutely,
We've touched on
100%.
I don't know if they should be interviewed after matches, but I agree with Gary Neville and JB Carragher that we should be able to hear what they're saying, like in rugby.
Yeah.
And you get in NFL as well. The ref goes to the middle when something's being reviewed, gives this, basically says everyone can hear what he's saying and why they're coming to a certain decision. The thing is, it would encourage them not to make stupid decisions because
it would.
You'd hear the fans sort of turn and be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Exactly.
But,
So
what is it?
what did you say?
Southampton.
No, you're lying. He's a cheat. You see that? He said Middlesbrough.
VAR,
and he just looked on the screen.
No,
his first goal was against Southampton.
I can't see on the screen, but I can't see on the screen. You see,
his first goal was against Southampton in 1999.
And what does he have in common with another striker?
You right?
Yes.
Scored against Southampton as well.
That's right. But he scored a hat-trick.
Do you know that, or you just suggested?
Yeah, I know that. It was at the Dell.
Fair enough. Well done.
But I like that, Jake.
Ash says only our defence has good bedth. Big up AFTV, says Paul. Says,
big up.
Still not happy about the referee yesterday.
No, ridiculous.
Why not AFTV start a campaign and demand answers? Dialogue and pressure on PGMR. Listen, I think football clubs want answers before AFTV want answers.
Absolutely, Paul. And the funny thing is, Paul, fantastic comment, by the way, thank you. I have been advocating, I'm not saying I'm anyone special, I mean advocating that Mikel and Martin, our captain, sit down with VAR, the PGMOL, the FA and the Premier League and want explanations on how we are getting these decisions. And I've wanted that since Arsene was in charge. So that's what I mean, Paul. So,
you're a trade union leader.
No, that's why I'm not saying I'm anyone special. So when Paul is saying that, we want explanations. And the reason why we want explanations is because you've got somebody like Frank Lampard, who's a legend in playing terms, who's been managing for 4 seconds, and he's got an apology. So where's our apologies then? For cheats like Ruud van cheating himself.
And you know the thing is, I'm going back to what you said, James. I would have referees come out after a game and explain.
Fair enough.
You know, if there's a controversial decision, why not a referee come out at the end and say, well, the reason why I didn't give that penalty on Jesus because there was, what did Dermot Gallagher say?
Tangling of legs.
Tangling of legs.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm tangling my legs. Sorry, my bad.
You know, so I would like to see him come out at the end of games and explain because, you know, there's been too many shocking decisions, not just for Arsenal, for many other teams this season. And I just feel that the referees, they need to be a more accountable. Maybe if they knew that, they start getting more decisions right.
Of course, because then they wouldn't have to be so flippant in the way they make decisions, and flippant by the way they talk to managers and manageresses. They wouldn't be so flippant because they know they've got to explain their decisions.
Remember what I called for a while ago? I've been doing this for 3 years and I stand by. I've never seen a situation in which this wouldn't work. A challenge system. I've seen it so many times. Imagine Arteta and Jesus, or Jesus could say to Odegaard as captain, I've been held. Odegaard goes, ref, we'd like to challenge that for a penalty. And then you're forcing the ref to go have a look. You get two a game maybe, right?
Like they're doing tennis.
Like they're doing tennis.
Right. Yes, that's right.
And I think you slow it down too much then?
Well, no, because actually it's better because VAR slows down the game anyway because they just look for things. So if you only did the ones that clubs have actually challenged for and they tell you what they're challenging for specifically, then I think it would maintain a steady pace. And actually there'd be a degree of drama. You know how, like, you could use it, not tactically, but imagine we're in the crowd, right, and we want a penalty, and the rest not giving it, and then you see your manager on the touchline sort of wave the challenge flag or whatever. Wouldn't that be quite fun? Everyone would be like, oh, the rest got to look at it now. And then if you don't listen, you're still not going to get every decision go your way. But at least you're making the referees have a proper look at the right one and have to explain themselves why they don't give it.
That slow the game down too much.
If it gets
starts to come like a lot of American sports where it's time out every minute and stuff like that.
If it gets
I don't think it has to. I don't think it has to. I don't think it has to slow down too much, but I get what you're saying. Amir says, we need a striker not to replace Eddie, but have him as a plan B, and we need an experienced defensive midfielder. Send Sammy on loan, El Neni and Smith Rowe to return for Christmas. I think I agree with a lot of that. If not, he's basically saying, call Eddie, because Eddie's more of like a, with all due respect, not quite as good plan A. That's what he is. But he's talking about a plan B, someone who's a complete change up to the way we want to do things. You know, yesterday it was all about Tomiyasu inverted, Jesus dropping deep, all about link up and combinations. But with 10 minutes to go, all right, Tierney, you got a wicked delivery, and Mitrovic, up front you go, and
direct.
we're just going to put them under serious pressure.
We're just going to go, you know, we're just going to go direct for the last
I get
10,
that.
15 minutes. We're going to swing balls in. We're going to create havoc. We're going to look for second balls. You know what I mean? Sometimes you've got to do that, man.
The only problem is how many teams actually have that. I mean, Liverpool and City don't really have a plan B. I know because their plan A is so good.
Well,
it was for Liverpool.
City's plan B at the moment is go to Alvarez, which is sort of would have been like...
It's like the reverse,
Yeah, it's the reverse way around. Well, no, hold on. You could say that Liverpool might have a plan B now they've got Darwin Núñez in, because he's very good in the air. Probably could swing a load of balls into him, stuff like that.
He's a
Manchester United don't have a plan B really, because they've got obviously Ronaldo, who could come over, or Martial. They've just got similar sort of strikers. Chelsea, no, they don't. They just got Aubameyang really. No, hold on, no, but they can bring Brozier on.
And Brozier's
a bit more physical.
Not exactly, he's a bit more physical.
And what happened? Brozier, who won the penalty for for Chelsea on Saturday. So
tangling of legs.
Yeah, so sometimes you just need somebody's a little tangling of legs.
Brilliant.
Sometimes you just need somebody who's a little bit different, a little bit more physical, a little bit. You know what I mean? Like West Ham, they got that Scamacca.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That, you know what I mean? Somebody like that. You know, you can bring on. He's just going to be a bit different. It's stretch the defence.
Yeah.
You know, I think up front, you know, it's a bit too samey. You know.
Sure. Callum says, "Hi guys, can I get your view on the penalty given on Mings? How is this any different to Jesus? Did you guys see it? I actually don't think I did.
The Tyrone Mings penalty.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it.
What, in the game on Saturday?
I'm going to have a little look at it now. No, I think they played on Sunday.
The Villa game on Sunday.
4-0 up against Brentford.
I don't remember.
I never knew they had a penalty.
Oh yeah, they did have a penalty. Danny Ings scored it.
Sorry. Okay.
I can't remember the incident, you know. But all I know is, listen, all you need to do is look at the one in the Chelsea game.
Yes.
The Chelsea-Manchester United game. The one for McTominay, where McTominay holds on to Brozier. I don't think it's a penalty, by the way. But I don't think it's as bad as the Jesus one, because the Jesus one, he's got two arms round him. But according to Dermot Gallagher, it's a tangle of legs.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Why are you saying sorry, James?
Sorry, I kicked you.
Oh, that's all right.
It's just like what is... Anyway, never mind.
That's why our refs are so rubbish, man.
I have to laugh because I'll actually get really annoyed if I focus on it too much. I mean, anyway. Hilarious. James, Ash says, James, if you want drama, go watch EastEnders. Stop bringing this nonsense into football. Ash, I will retract my plans for a challenge system. The FA, well, they won't receive my plans.
I like innovative ideas. I'm not sure. Okay. The only thing is, I'm not sure if that particular one would slow it down. But I do, in principle, like the idea. You know what I mean? They have it in tennis. They have it in cricket as well. Right? Where a review system where you can challenge. And when you run out of challenges, you just got to go with what happens on field. And so it's not a bad idea, James. It's just about, does it slow the game down too much? If there's too many reviews, you know what managers are like, they'll start using it really tactically, where, you know, to slow the game down at the end deliberately. You know what they're like.
But my only counter to that is, if the challenge system was deployed in a way in which the captain had to explain to the referee exactly what they think's happened and why. So with that Jesus one, Jesus has gone down. And it's got to be quick, right? Yeah. But he says to Martin, I was pulled down. Martin goes to the ref and goes, hands around the chest, in the box, we think it's a penalty, we're challenging that, right? Yes. it couldn't be used to time waste because you can't make up fouls, but you can't say, I think I was fouled. Okay, well, how do you think you were fouled? You know, I think if you purposely explain, or if a goal's scored, you can't just go, ref, we think it's offside. No, who do you think is offside? You know, that's, I think if in the space of 20 to 30 seconds, players could very quickly decipher where they think they've had the injustice, because you see players anywhere go mental on a pitch. They clearly see things. So that would be my suggestion. But,
a couple of comments here. Ben Headphone says, why is no one talking about the headbutt thrown at the end? Which again,
that's a red card.
I think that's a red card as well. You're right, Ben Headphone.
I don't know if we can talk about. Can we say that we actually mentioned that?
What?
That one on our other show. Can we actually say that, Robbie?
Well, the other show's out.
Oh, well, okay. Okay, exactly.
We mentioned it on Bar's Premier League show.
The Bar's Premier League show is not a secret.
Sorry, I did. Sorry,
I know what you're saying.
We mentioned that. It was. He had his head in Eddie's face, and it's a red card. Exactly.
And there was another one where he lashed out like an elbow. I don't think that guy
was
didn't
a tangling of legs, to be fair. But I'm going to keep rinsing this, guys. I'm going to keep mentioning it. That's how ridiculous it was. Pepe got sent off for, yes, it was a head movement, and it goes down as a headbutt.
Alioski, the cheat, the nobody.
But he wasn't sending off.
It wasn't
sending off. No, hold on. Let's just get this right.
No, he was wrong. Nicholas was wrong.
We know that Alioski went down and he made the most of it. Yeah?
Down is the word. Because where is he now? Nowhere. Where he belongs.
He made the most of it, yeah? But there was not one single Arsenal fan complaining.
You said it was,
that was not a red card.
Exactly.
Thank you, Robbie. You're absolutely
and the
right.
one yesterday, there would have been one single Southampton fan complaining. Just like on Saturday, there was no Man United. The only player complaining on the pitch was Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, that's right,
And I think that's just because that's your natural reaction to try and... But there was no Man United player complaining, no Man United fan saying that wasn't a penalty. Because they knew it was a stupid thing for McTominay to do. I don't understand it.
No.
Prince Thomas...
The fist into the back of Jesus isn't great either. What was
Yeah.
he doing there?
Look at that.
If you look at the fist into the back of Jesus,
That's
he's
a red.
upset about it and he does it deliberately as well. That's a red as well.
Yeah.
Prince Thomas says, Robbie, your favourite fan from Barbados here, complaining about not being able to send super chats. I didn't know you couldn't send super chats from Barbados, but listen, big up Prince. He says, what about bringing back Nuno? He's been on fire on that left wing. He was never a left back. Well, he has been. He's been playing really well for Marseille. Well. Also, the other person is playing well.
Following.
Scored again yesterday.
Amazing.
Patino as well. Blackpool fans absolutely loving him.
Charlie Patino's been on fire.
Brilliant.
Scored as well.
The thing is, you don't want to ruin his progression there, but I mean, the way he's playing, you flirt with the idea of a recall and cup games, but he's doing so well, it wouldn't be fair to him.
No, it's great. Look, I have to say, it's great that these guys
are doing well.
Have gone out alone and doing well. They haven't gone out, they haven't sulked. They've gone out and they're doing brilliantly on loan. You know what I mean? Charlie Patino, the Blackpool fans absolutely love him.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not surprised. And by the way, can I just say, I don't know who that comment was, James, about you were not talking nonsense. And if you're talking about drama, I hope you mean classic EastEnders. I hope you mean classic EastEnders. I hope you don't mean current EastEnders. As opposed to current EastEnders. I hope you mean classic EastEnders. With Kat Slater, with Steve, with Mel, with Charlie. I hope you mean that. With Peggy. I hope you mean that. So, because current EastEnders, I don't watch, but I used to watch. I watch classic EastEnders now, and it's absolutely superb.
You watch old EastEnders?
Yeah, you're damn right. And classic Coronation Street, obviously, other soap operas are available. Yeah, absolutely.
Hold on, wait. You go home and you watch old reruns of EastEnders.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, it's
on Coronation Street.
Absolutely, it's on now, on TV channels.
What episodes then?
What do you mean, what episodes?
So how many years back?
Oh right, yeah, it's about 20. I think in EastEnders now, I think they're in 1999, 2000, so about 22 years ago. Superb, fantastic drama. And Coronation Street as well. Fantastic drama. Very, very good.
Of 22 years ago.
Absolutely.
I actually love you, Ty.
I love you too. It's great. It's great.
I'm getting the mic closer to you because this is just. You're
and also,
amazing.
funny enough, we're here, James Robbie. Let me speak to Robbie. If I remember quite rightly, it was fantastic. Right on the kid's face. I loved you being next to me when I was interviewed. When I was cussing that cheat, that rude man cheat himself. You were saying it was 20 years ago. I don't care if it's 50 years ago. The man is still a cheat and he deserves to be dissed the way he cheats.
Anyway. Did you get Abdullah's super chat? R11 versus PSV shouldn't be a weak team. We need to get the job done. There's someone at the door. Sorry, we're doing a live stream.
Somebody at the door.
We're trying to do a live stream. That person at the door.
Sorry, Abdullah. He says R11 versus PSV shouldn't be a weak team. We need to get the job done. If we don't win our last Europa League game, will be a must-win, and that's right before Chelsea. Nottingham Forest is a game. Oh, I lost it. It's a game we should win, even if we rotate.
No, when I see where I totally disagree with you there, Abdullah.
Sorry, Abdullah, I disagree as well.
Abdullah, I'm actually the opposite. I would go with a very I would go with a very weak team.
Same.
For that game.
PSV. I thought you meant
PSV. We to me, bar a disaster.
Yeah.
Bar a disaster, we're going to win that group. Even a disaster, we finish runners up in the group. We're already through.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
The important game is Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest beat Liverpool at the weekend.
Exactly. So
their tails are going to be up. I know they're at the bottom of the league, but their tails are going to be up.
Yeah.
Because they got a good. We saw with Southampton, they went away to Bournemouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Got a good result.
Exactly.
Right. I want the strongest possible team. I wouldn't bring Jesus. I wouldn't bring Saka. I wouldn't bring Martinelli. I would have my team to go out there be quite weak. I ain't gonna lie.
Weak compared to the first team.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Play Marquinhos. Play
Marquinhos superb.
Eddie. Play. You know what I mean? We've got to keep back these guys because that game. We've got 3 games to go until the World Cup.
Yes.
Let's try and win those 3, or at least I was looking at if we could take 7 points from those 3 games.
Yeah.
We've got Wolves away there, down there at the bottom at the moment. But it's not an easy game.
Nice
I really don't care about that game on Thursday.
I'm with you. I'm so with
I know you're going out there, isn't it? That's what you want to do.
enjoy it.
But listen,
thank you very much.
No, I don't care about that game because we're already there. We're more or less there.
Yeah, Robbie, I'm so with you. I'm so with you. If that was that's why beating PSV was so important.
That's why,
at the Emirates. Otherwise, what we're saying, we needed to win that game, but just to make absolute sure. Listen, the Europa League, it matters, sure. If things, as you say, go catastrophically bad, which means they beat us, we don't beat Zurich at home, and then they beat Bodo Glimt away, which is going heavily against the odds with all those things, except for we could lose there because they're a good side, then you think, okay, that's a disaster. But guess what? We're still through. Okay, 2 extra games. Yeah, that's really annoying. Yeah, it's probably going to be a tough opposition, but let's just get these Premier League games done while we can and keep the team fresh.
I'm not being funny. If we can't beat Zurich at home, we don't deserve to be in the next round, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if it needs be, we can put all the big guns out against Zurich at home because at least when you're playing at home, you ain't got all the travelling. You ain't got.
That's right.
You ain't got to then travel all the way to.
Spot on.
But to me, the PSV game, and I ain't gonna lie, from what I saw of PSV the other day, I reckon like a much changed team will give them a serious game anyway. Yeah. So I'm not with you on that one, Abdullah. I'm sorry.
There was an interesting super chat actually, which brings me on to a conversation I really wanted to discuss, which was basically a big debate.
Is this one about KT?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get. Actually, let me just do. Ross says, "Let's be real. Eddie is a plan C. Big up, fellas." Bilal says, Kieran Tierney is far too good a left back to be behind Zinchenko and Tomiyasu. Prove me wrong, injuries, that's more like the medical staff problem than KT. So, I know there was a big debate going about who should have started that left back.
I had a heated debate in the comment section of my fan cam with Dave Jordan, who I know is watching the show.
Big up Dave Jordan, man.
Yeah, big up Dave.
Well, no, he's on my bad side, and he's
is he?
him and Turkish don't get on.
No, big up. Big up Dave then.
I was enjoying it, but now I'm Team Turkish. He had a right pop at me actually, saying, "What do I know about that the manager doesn't?" and blah blah blah. Listen, this is my thing, okay?
Yeah.
He's got a point, which is that we have no idea that if Tierney had played, that it would have necessarily been any better. But what we do know is that Tierney's a fantastic left back.
Yes.
We also know he is a left back, where Tomiyasu is doing a very good job at left back, which is a slightly different thing. Yeah. We also know he's got far more output as a goal scorer, as a creator and assist in that sense. And then what we also know, my fourth bit of evidence, is that we have now back-to-back games away from home we have succumbed to the pressure in the second half, and we've not taken advantage of our first half, getting a couple goals or whatever. And sure, you probably want Tomiyasu to defend in those situations, but I like the idea of attacking to defend. If we attack and we keep Southampton pinned in and worrying about what we're doing, they're going to cause us less problems going the other way. Now, Tierney started at Brentford, who I believe are a better team than Southampton, and we controlled the whole game. He wasn't bombing forward, whipping it in the box and doing all that, but at least he offers a different dimension. At least you can do that. Saka, for a lot of the game, was one-on-one with their fullbacks, running at them, causing most problems. But that one time the space opened up, White did overlap and created the goal. So why not have that same threat down the left, rather than basically say, no, Tomiyasu is going to sit and he's not really going to offer much going forward. I love Tomiyasu, I really do. But I just think, a lot of people were saying it before, a lot of people were saying it after, I don't think it's outrageous to say Tierney should have started, and if he did, we probably would have had a little bit more.
If you look at the game yesterday, when Tierney come on, he created that chance. Unfortunately, the ball did go out, but
he was superb. He was
superb, and that little cutback for Odegaard to finish off. I can see why. I think I can see why he's been starting Tomiyasu at right back, because left back. Sorry, because I think all right, he started him against Salah. I think that was a deliberate move, because they know that Salah going to cut in on his right foot. Tomiyasu could deal with that. Tomiyasu is brilliant in that game.
Superb.
I think in the other games, they're away from home. I think he just wants a bit more solidity. So that little system that he got, where they sort of drop back into that back three, Tomiyasu is just naturally really good in defending those. And also Tomiyasu yesterday, what a lot of people didn't observe, which he did very well, is the amount of headers he won. The amount of times he headed the ball away, even from corners and things like that. Diagonals he dealt with. So I think he's in there for, especially away from home, for that real defensive role. But I hear you on it, James. I hear you on it. I mean, you can also say that, it was much more dynamic when Tierney come on, and Tierney's a great defender as well, isn't he? Not like he can't defend.
Dave's replied, Dave, you do make me laugh, right? Because you criticise Turkish for apparently being too negative or whatever, but you seem to have an issue with everything we say, and I think we're being quite fair. He says, I watched the tactical show. Thank you, considering you called my fan cam low level analysis. So I'm glad you got into the meat of. I'm glad you got into the meat of a 35-minute show.
You got to him, Dave.
Appreciate.
You got to.
Low level.
He says, and you mentioned how Hasenhüttl felt Southampton were ending the game looking for the winner. Odd, despite Kieran attacked to defend Tierney being on the pitch at the same time. Dave, I don't have to agree with Hasenhüttl. I thought if there was one team that looked more likely to get the winner in the last 10 minutes, it was us. I thought we were. Yeah, they had a few moments. In the end, man, I was sort of looking at it and thinking, I'll take the 1-1. You know what I mean? Because. Do you not think we looked better when Tierney came on?
Of course we did. No, well, the evidence. No, you're right on that, James, because the evidence was there. Because that cutback, we could have equalised. We could have went a goal ahead had the ball not slightly gone out. Definitely much more attacking when Tierney came on. 100%.
That's all. But listen, Tomiyasu clearly. You mentioned how good he is in the air. Set pieces were defending really, really well. That can be, especially when you've got a player like Ward-Prowse, maybe that's something Arteta thought. And no one has sat here, and even people I see on social media or whatever, no one's sitting here and going, Tomiyasu's rubbish, why is he starting? Arteta disaster class. No one's saying that. And then people just asking the question of, are we really saying when Tierney's at his best in that left-back position that he's not a more complete outlet there than Tomiyasu playing out of position? That's all I'm saying.
Dan Potts called it right before the game even started. He was a bit upset. He was a bit upset that Tierney wasn't starting, and he was saying, so he looked better when Tierney come on, attacking wise for sure.
Wood says we were clinging on. I mean, maybe the game opened up. I didn't think we were hanging. Didn't we hanging on?
I wouldn't say we were hanging on, but just
this is the reverse of the Leeds debate. I think we were actually.
I don't think we were
for the win.
I don't think we were hanging on, but it didn't look like we were going to score.
I thought we would.
Apart from Tierney, I thought Tierney came on and made a great impact, but the other subs who came on were dreadful, man. And you know what I mean? Eddie Nketiah came on. Every time he got the ball, he gave it away. It bounced off him. He didn't hold the ball once. Fabio Vieira come on. He gave the ball away a couple of times. It was looking risky, man. I was starting to think to myself, I'll take the point and get out of it. You know?
Well,
Jean Ren with a great comment says, James, how do you know that sports science isn't dictating Tierney's minutes? I've no idea.
It could be.
Which is why, Jean, I've never ever sat here and said it's a disgrace he's not playing. He 100% should have started. Blah blah. It's not. I've never said that. I just would have preferred that. But
he has got a good point there, because remember, this is a very injury-prone guy over the years.
Yeah.
We're trying to nurse him
through. Yeah.
We need this guy for those. You know, those last 3 games leading up to the World Cup, we're going to need Kieran Tierney.
We are.
You know, let me give you a couple of super chats here. Paul Surin says, if fans demand change, it will change.
Really?
It's time to bring fans together. Imagine if all the fan channels unite their fan bases with the clubs. I think he's talking about maybe the VAR. Nelly says, give us an unpopular opinion, Ty. Last time you started slagging off United,
that's right.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. He says.
No, it does.
Give us an uncensored, unleashed opinion, Ty, mate. He gives that every week.
On what?
I don't know.
On what?
On EastEnders? on modern day EastEnders.
Well,
Canadian Gooner says, KT's, thanks for the memories and good luck in the future. Wow. Remember, the fans are disappointed of Mikel, are as disappointed of Mikel as you are.
What?
Pep is sure coming back again for him. So I think he's saying the fact that he's not playing, we could end up losing him.
Well,
if you're at a top, I keep saying this all the time.
I know, yeah.
If you're at a top club, you don't start crying because you've been out for a couple of games because the manager's brought someone else in. You suck it up and you come again and you try to. There's no guarantees for anybody to start every week. I'm sorry, that's you look at Manchester City's team. I think the only 2 people guaranteed a starting spot in that team is De Bruyne and Haaland.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And Edison in goal.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Yeah.
Look at how good Mahrez is.
Yeah.
You know, Man City fans saying if you don't play Mahrez, he might be gone next week. Mahrez might go.
That's true.
Oh, you know what? What's Jack Grealish thinking? He's going to say you got you know what I mean? This is.
It's true.
We've got to get into that mindset.
Exactly.
If we're going to compete with these type of clubs,
exactly.
You know, everybody's talking about squad depth.
Exactly.
If we all want the squad depth that we really want, there's going to be players in that squad.
Exactly.
That are going to be noses are going to be put out of joint because they're going to know they're good enough to. Fabio Vieira could go to another club in the Premier League and he'd be starting.
Yeah.
He could go to Villa, start every week. He could probably go to a whole host of clubs and start every week.
Yeah.
But he's chosen to come to Arsenal. He's on the bench and he knows he's got to earn that position.
And he's already scored a fantastic goal.
He's got to earn that position.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Sorry, can I just say, Dave Jordan, obviously, of course, because Hassan Hutu says it must be true.
I know Dave Jordan doesn't like me very much right now. Love to him because he's in every comment section.
Big up Dave Jordan,
and
because he's always in there.
He engages us and he creates very good discussion. I disagree, and I don't think he should. Anyway.
Abdullah says, fair enough. You guys are right on the PSV squad. He says, on KT, I think he starts. I think Arteta doesn't trust him as an inverted left back. He's good at overlapping, but he doesn't tuck in to midfield when will be shaped as a 2-3-5. It could be an element of that. Definitely, Abdullah. Would you? I wouldn't play KT against PSV. I keep him back for that Forest game. I want to see him start against Forest.
Is against
PSV?
Well, apparently he was kind of touch and go for Southampton.
Yeah, apparently he was in Southampton.
Well, there we go. So if he's fit for this, give him the minutes against PSV.
That'd be good.
By the way, big up the Ukrainian guys that I met over in Spain last week. They're really bigging up Zinchenko. They're saying that like a lot of Ukraine now love Arsenal because of Zinchenko. So big up Zinchenko. Big up to those guys. Nelly, this one. Nelly says this is one for you, Ty. Obviously, He says
it's not the actual Nelly, is it? Because that'd be amazing.
No, it's not the actual Nelly. He says Dirty Den, Zoe and Dennis are my favourite storyline by far.
Okay.
You know that EastEnders, isn't it? Dirty Den.
Dirty Den, Angie, his mistress Jan, Sharon, Zoe,
Who's the guy who used to be the bin guy?
Bin guy?
That black guy used to lift the bins.
What? Lift the bins?
In EastEnders, there was a black guy and he was a bin collector.
He
was a dustbin guy.
Are you talking about Tony?
Was he black? And he used to like take the bins.
Yeah, you're probably talking about Tony, and he had a son Kelvin and a daughter.
No, he was a young guy, and he was the bin. He worked for the, like you work on them trucks with the dustbins and that. I remember my dad always used to go, "Why do you want a black guy after I carry dustbin? Why?
It's a good job, man. It's a good job, Somebody has to do it.
Hey, listen, man. I can't believe you watch old EastEnders.
Of course. Old EastEnders, Old Coronation Street.
Hilda Ogden.
Dev, Gina, Mike Baldwin,
Gus,
Linda.
that's it. Thank you.
Oh,
Potes,
Gus, yeah.
Nick Nart, Chris Fraser, M, Cheetan,
Yes.
Don.
I'm so behind in the comments.
Gus.
Is that what they're all saying?
Yeah,
Played by Mohammed George.
yeah. He used to be
Gus,
see, you don't even know EastEnders. He used to take the bins.
But I didn't watch it up to then. I'm talking about old.
You know Gus?
Played by
But
Mohammed
no,
George.
I never watched.
Played by Mohammed
I tell you what, this is low-level analysis. This is but fair play.
Well done to you, James, for not watching it because it is rubbish.
No, fair enough.
I didn't watch that.
I do have a couple of
Gus,
comments
yeah,
I want
Gus,
to
yeah.
quickly tackle. Africa Football Fan TV says, James, if we're taking our chance in the first half, we wouldn't be talking about this Tommy and Kieran not starting. Tommy has to help stabilise the midfield three at the back when attacking. Yeah, no, of course, but if buts and maybes, the point is we didn't win, so the things we didn't do are going to get highlighted. There were things we got wrong in the Liverpool game. We didn't talk about them because we won.
That's true.
I'm just going to ignore Robbie.
Sorry, sorry, James. I know this is
Go
off,
for it.
off football, but it's just Aiden. Ty's got a crush on Pat Butcher.
What are you talking about? Well, it sounds like you do.
I've heard that name.
It sounds like you do.
Oh my God! All right, sorry. Back on the football.
That's not true.
Dave Jordan, we have had a
again.
good debate overall. It says, James, I don't disagree with everything you say. I just think analysis of subs and selection is a wasted effort. We were conceding possession way more in the second half when Tien was on the pitch. Coincidence. Listen, you made some fair points.
But that's his
I have
opinion,
a different
isn't it?
opinion.
Exactly.
But hey ho, the point is Arsenal have won 9, drawn 1, and lost 1. That is a start that still leaves us
Brilliant start.
top
2 points
of the
clear of
Premier
the
League
top
table. And
yes,
come on, we'd have all taken that.
And James, if I remember, I'm sorry, but I tried to get in the bio show. I think, if I can remember quite right, the Southampton fans, some of them were trying to sing top of the league, you're having a laugh. Yeah, well, we're laughing at everybody below us, and that includes Southampton in the relegation zone.
I'll tell you one thing I'm not laughing at, yeah? Have you seen these rearranged fixtures?
Thank you.
No, I haven't. Oh,
Right,
no.
Thank you. This was sorry to anyone who's near the headphones.
no, I haven't, because I've been-
Boxing Day, our fixture,
West Ham
right, against West Ham,
Yeah.
has been moved.
to what, 7:45, I bet.
8 p.m.
On Boxing Day.
Actually, I don't mind that one as much
It is
because
what it is.
It's later though, so you.
Christmas Day, sleeping off all the food you've eaten before the drink
You're
and all
lucky
that.
enough to eat a
Got
drink,
8 o'clock in the night, so
Yeah, and it's home, isn't it?
no, it's away, isn't it?
Nice home.
I was at home. I thought it was
It's
away.
home. Nice home. As far as I know, it's home.
What do you two want? to?
Right now, this is the
Well-
one. This is the one I don't like now. Right,
Wait.
New Year's Eve.
What?
Right, New Year's Eve
Is that
away,
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
away at Brighton.
Okay, this is where I'm gonna have a rant.
Okay.
Yeah?
What time?
5:30 p.m. kickoff. New Year's Eve. So that means, right, when we go down to Brighton, we'll probably, especially us here on AFTV,
Gonna be there too.
we'll be seen in the New Year's in Brighton.
Exactly.
Can I rant first?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Right. I'm actually furious about that one.
Go on, James.
I had a whole party planned. It was a costume themed. I'm joking. But I'm
EastEnders theme.
I had an EastEnders themed party at Ty's. No, I'm actually legitimately really annoyed about that. 5:30.
Yeah.
On New Year's Eve.
Exactly.
Football fans already find it difficult to get to football matches.
Exactly.
What with how expensive it is
Yes.
to do, finding time for their family and their work and everything.
Exactly.
We had a game kick off at 6 p.m. the other day for no reason at all.
That's
really.
right, yeah.
And I don't understand. I looked at the schedule thinking, well, maybe they had absolutely no choice. And I have a little look at my calendar to see, which isn't loading. So thank you so much to the iPad for trying to help me make my point. So I look. It's Saturday the 31st, right? We play Boxing Day, Monday the 26th.
Yeah.
There's no reason that game couldn't be played Thursday the 29th. That's a standard 3 days after the 26th.
Yep.
Or even Friday the 30th.
Yep.
Or you push it back to Sunday the 1st. Okay, then you've got the Newcastle game on the 3rd. Maybe that could have been moved around. People have lives and families and holiday and things that they want to do with their loved ones. And yes, football is a big part of those things. And the festive calendar, some people talk about winter break. No, I love that we have festive football. I think it's a tradition and I love it, and we should keep that.
Yeah.
Or at least make it a 2:00 game. Why not play them all?
The biggest,
are they doing?
The biggest gripe for me, James, is that game's at 5:30. So basically, what they're saying, actually, even the fans that go there, I'm not even talking about us as AFTV. We'll forget it. We're seeing in the New Year's in Brighton, but even for a regular fan who goes to that game, right? You are not you normally go down on the coach to that game, right?
Yeah.
So you will not get back.
It's like 11:30 if we're lucky.
So forget going out that night.
Exactly.
We all know that everybody wants to see the New Year's in.
Exactly. With their
so you want to go to a party or a family or your loved one, or some people even go to the church or to the mosque or whatever, right?
The temple.
Are you going to make that back now for 12? Right, to be able to do that, I think it's a very selfish.
It is very selfish.
It's awful.
Selfish move by the TV. Obviously Sky, they want a prime time 5:30, but again, there's no fault for the fans.
No, there's not.
No fault for the fans. I'm sorry, that's a ridiculous time. 5:30 kickoff. That means that game's finishing. What are we talking? That's finishing by about around 8ish.
It's finishing around 7:30.
7:30
with injury time.
Now we've all been to Brighton. We know that's one of the worst grounds to get away from.
Is it
terrible to get away from that ground? You know what I mean? You got to walk about a mile just to get to the car park, right? And then to get away from that ground is the traffic.
The traffic. Imagine New Year's Eve.
The traffic is terrible, and it's New Year's Eve, and it's Brighton.
Yes,
Brighton, which is a real sort of city that a lot of people would descend on for New Year's because Brighton's got a lot of clubs and a lot of nightlife, and people would descend. How ridiculous is this?
So Jordan Jones says, "Lol, then don't go and watch on TV, then, mate." But Jordan, this is exactly the point.
Are you kidding?
Why are we giving?
Are you kidding? Is he kidding?
Why are we removing options from people when we can give it to them?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why are we in a situation where we're going, well, you're going to... Sorry, I've not phrased it right. But you get what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say, listen, it's kind of the football or be with your family.
Exactly.
People have traditions, whether it be dinners with my family. Listen, I'm spending this Christmas in England. I've got my Italian family and out in Italy. And I tell you what, that last day, that Christmas, that New Year's Eve... It's a whole thing. It means a lot to my family. Yeah, I'm a little bit more relaxed when it comes to these traditions, but there's a lot of loved ones that it means a lot to.
Yeah.
Who I'm just talking for myself now. Gonna have to have that conversation of
Grief now.
I've got the football. And by the way, I love watching Arsenal. And I love doing this. I'm going to call it a job. It's not a job. It's my favourite thing in the world to do.
Yeah.
But that doesn't. It's not the point. The point is you're putting people in a situation that they don't need to be in.
Oh, that's brilliant.
People have that, there are match day goers who've never missed an away game. Being one of the, but they want to be with their family too. You're right. It could have been earlier in the day, and then then they got a good 4, 6, 8 hour buffer to get back.
And as I said, right, Brighton, and any fan out there who's been to Brighton over the years, they will tell you how hard it is to get away from that ground. It's, lovely ground to go to. Great ground to go to for a game. Very difficult to get away from there. Very, very, always terrible traffic.
Do you remember last year? I know you'll remember it. They put Everton away, Man United away. Thursday night at Everton, Monday night Old Trafford.
Yes.
And you're thinking, who's scheduling this? Who's thinking? Yeah, they'll travel to Manchester and then to Liverpool again. Right? There are Arsenal fans across the country. I understand that. There'll be a lot travelling from London, though. There's just not a thought. And this is...
Yeah, there's not a thought.
Yeah.
Let's a couple more super chats here. G-Van says, Ty, your views on Rishi Sunak. Well, we're trying to stay... It's not a politics show, right?
And that's not an EastEnders question either.
Yeah, stay off that one. Canadian Gooner says, with all due respect, no one is hunting down Mahrez or Grealish, but we know for a fact that City are flirting with KT and they still don't have a natural left back.
That's a good point.
They bought a left back, by the way. They did buy that Gomez. So they do have a natural left back.
But do we know
and Grealish costs £100 million and he's on the bench practically every week.
Yes.
So, this is what it is when you're at these type of clubs.
Exactly.
Wayne Sage says, Fabrizio just tweeted that Aston Villa have approached Unai Emery. I heard the other day that they were interested in Unai Emery.
That's interesting.
And Nelly says that EastEnders watch along Sundays with Ty. and deep dive analysis. Maybe that's for you, James.
Well, tactical analysis on
Keep me away from that. Yeah.
Well, listen, if it's classic EastEnders, I would love. I'd love to do that.
Gemini Jedi says, "Don't take the TV money then." But listen, it's not about that, Gemini, because basically they're getting from me twice. Because I'm paying my money to go to watch the games, and I've got Sky.
Exactly.
And I've got BT, and I've got Amazon. I have to pay all of them, right? So, no, look after the fans who go to watch football.
Not just the armchair fans.
No one's saying that. No one's saying that. You can't have a game on New Year's Eve. But like James said, make it a bit earlier. Couldn't they just said, you know what? Let's kick that game off at 3:30 or 4. Everyone's at home anyway, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's kick that goal. Let's kick it off a little bit earlier. Give those fans a chance to get home, and take that into consideration. But a time like that, no consideration has been made, especially for the travelling fans. Even for Brighton fans, no consideration has been made.
And if I remember quite rightly, wasn't there a time? It was 2 seasons ago. They wanted to schedule us versus Liverpool on Christmas Eve. Do you remember that?
What was that again?
I can't remember. It was a few years ago, but they wanted to schedule. In the end, they didn't. But they wanted to schedule that game Christmas Eve.
Big up to Reggie 11. He says, "Love the show, lads." Listen, these TV companies, if they could, if they knew they could get away with it, right,
they would. Yeah,
they probably have the game seen in the new year.
Exactly.
See in the new year on Sky with Arsenal.
At midnight. Yeah, of course. At midnight.
Yeah.
Even the players must be a bit pissed about this.
Yeah, because that means they can't spend time with their families.
Because even by the time they get on it,
exactly.
An Arsenal player looking at that might be thinking, and a Brighton player might be thinking, bloody hell.
Yeah.
What time?
Dave Jordan says, no consideration for Brighton fans. The TV companies didn't think about how their evening will be ruined after getting tonked by Arsenal.
Well, let's hope. Well, Dave,
that's the other thing.
Well, Dave, let's hope you're right.
That's the other thing. Go down there and lose that game. Well, Happy New Year.
Let's hope not. But Dave, let's hope you're right, Dave. Let's hope so.
Oh man, I'm telling you, man. And then by the other fixture that they've moved is we've got a game against Newcastle. That's been moved to Tuesday, the 3rd of January at 8 p.m.
Hold on.
Let me find something to moan about.
Home or away?
Let me have a look.
Is that home or away?
Home. Home.
Okay. I've got nothing to complain about with that. So.
I'm surprised they didn't send us to Newcastle away.
Away, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Newcastle away, 11:30 kickoff.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it is very.
But
annoying.
listen, it's not a surprise, is it?
People are asking where Arsenal Man City is. We don't even know. We don't even know.
That's the other thing. When are they going to rearrange that game for?
They're probably going to keep it to the end.
Probably wedge it in just before the clock hits 12, I imagine.
Or maybe the end of the season.
Well, you look at the fixture. So obviously, going into the new year, got Brighton away.
Yeah.
So January. Newcastle, that one on the 3rd. Then there's a gap of 2 weeks, but that's the FA Cup.
That's right.
Tottenham away on the 14th of January.
Is that
Man United at home, 21st of January. Yeah. Hey, this is a hard run of games, by the way.
It is hard.
February, Everton away, Brentford at home, Villa away, Leicester away. Going into March, we still haven't played City yet. According to this, nothing's scheduled in yet.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have a double header.
Yeah, in the last 2 games of the season.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Yeah,
we're not set to play them until
the double leg.
I wonder if this is the reschedule. Wednesday, the 26th of April. No, but it was at home, wasn't it? The game.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Right. So we got Wednesday, the 26th of April, Man City away, according to the schedule at the moment. And I just don't see they've not rescheduled that City game yet. It's not rescheduled. So
they're just waiting, aren't they? They're just waiting. To make
waiting for what?
Dramatic as possible. That's what they're doing. They're looking.
Well, you think they could try and slip that in right before the end of the season? You're actually right.
I have no doubt that's what they're trying to do. I have no doubt. No doubt.
When was it delayed? October?
Yeah.
We'll chuck it in May.
Yeah.
How about, he was saying,
Second from last game of the season, Arsenal versus Man City.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if we had that scenario where they had slipped it in because of that reason, that would be a beautiful thing.
Let me tell you right now, Robbie, if someone offered me, without any context, Arsenal Man City will be played as one of the last games in May, would you take it? I would right now, because I know that there was a narrative or something around that. I'd be like, wow, we must be in the title, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So yes, please.
Do you know, I know we're coming to the end of the show, but you know the real interesting thing, I don't know if you guys have found this. I found I was on DR Sports this morning.
Yep.
I was with Abby,
Oh yeah.
obviously Tottenham fan,
Yeah, I saw that. It's brilliant,
AGT
brilliant.
Liverpool fan, Matisse,
Matisse,
Chelsea
yeah,
fan.
yeah. Big.
This is when I know that Arsenal are doing well, despite us losing.
Yeah, this is funny.
Sorry, despite us drawing.
Not losing,
Felt
exactly.
like a loss, but despite us drawing,
Yeah.
they were so salty. They were so salty because they're just desperate for us to lose. And I think that they thought when we went a goal down, you see, this is a change in Arsenal. When Southampton equalised,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that they thought, Arsenal,
We're going to crumble.
it's going to be one of them ones where they crumble.
Yeah.
And we didn't. We held on for a draw. And then on top of that, Liverpool lost,
Yes.
Tottenham lost, and
Chelsea
Chelsea
and
dropped
Manchester
points as
United
well.
drew, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of even the other day on DR I saw Abby and I think it was Flex and they was talking, normally in February and March Arsenal crumble, but we actually
Really?
did very well in them months.
Exactly.
I think we only lost one game last
Yeah,
year.
it was April. it
So
started to go wrong,
I think there's a lot of fear out there at the moment
Of course there is.
where there's a lot of non-Arsenal fans that are thinking these guys are actually doing all right.
Well,
you know?
you
This,
know-
this is not a fluke no more.
Yeah.
We can't just put it down to who've you played and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
They're doing all right.
Well, two big points here. Firstly, I think the frustration for a lot of other fans will be that actually the one time Arsenal slipped up, only City capitalised.
And Newcastle.
Liverpool drew. Oh, yeah, of course, Newcastle. We
Yeah.
need to start respecting them. You're right.
Yeah.
The Spurs lost. City
Yeah.
and Chelsea, shared the points, and either one of them
Manchester
really
United.
could have won. Yeah, sorry, you're right. It's late in the day. Chelsea United split the points, and it could have been
Yeah.
Chelsea. Scored late on and really could have won it because of that. But then United
Yeah.
had so many chances. And I
Yeah.
think they're looking at that going, God, the one weekend
Yeah, exactly.
where Arsenal actually didn't even lose, but they drew. They
Yeah,
did
yeah,
something.
yeah,
They
yeah.
didn't, collect the points. And listen, we'll
Yeah.
drop more points throughout the season, but
That's
I
so
think
will everyone else, hopefully.
a lot of people reflect on the missed opportunity, and that's rightly so. But then on the flip side, it's kind of half full, half empty. How do you look at it? If there were ever a weekend where you're going to have a little slip up and it doesn't go quite your way,
You'd want it.
this is a good
Absolutely,
one because actually
James.
everyone else didn't make up
Well,
ground. So
absolutely.
the second thing I was going to say
Yeah.
was, don't forget last season we missed out top four by what, a point or two, maybe 2 points on
What,
Tottenham.
2 points? Yeah.
Exactly.
Look how many games we lost, 13. Now just imagine that some of those games, we went 1-0 up at Everton, we lost 2-1.
Yeah.
Just imagine if some of those games, we went 1-0 up at United, we actually equalised, we lost that game. Those games where, okay, we crumbled a little bit or something didn't go right, if we just collected a couple more points, we'd have been in the top four.
Yeah.
So there is something to be said for Arsenal not being very good in that second half at all, and actually coming out having not lost the game,
That's
Great
true.
point.
and
Great point.
and picking up a point anyway,
And
and
James-
extending a gap on Tottenham. Sorry,
Sorry,
Colin,
no,
carry
sorry,
on.
James, sorry. And I can even add on to that, and I'll give Joe a shout out. Hope he's Joe. If you're listening, I'll give Joe a shout out because this is
He's
his.
sleeping over there.
No, this is
Only joking, joking.
Long day.
This is actually Joe's stat. This is not my stat. According to statistics, we are 10 points better off this season than last season. Can you imagine with the same games played? Because we
How many points were it?
10 points better off.
Then we were at this stage last season.
Yeah,
There you go.
because we didn't beat. We drew. We lost to Southampton. You
We had a horrendous start, didn't
Yeah.
we?
So, you know, and that's Joe's
honestly, there are
Thank you, Joe.
there are a lot of teams out there. Well, not even the teams, but especially there's some fans out
Fans,
there.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
worried.
yeah.
They're getting a little worried now. They were laughing it off. They were laughing it off at the start of the season,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they
yeah,
were.
there's nothing.
I think they're getting a bit worried now. But listen, we're playing well. The first half in that game, remember, we were away from home. I thought we were
have blown
brilliant.
them away. Should
But
have blown them
we
away.
didn't put our chances away.
We
But we
didn't,
didn't
unfortunately.
lose, and that was the most important factor of that.
And that,
But,
and that, you're right, Robbie. And that
Yeah.
is big. And
Yeah.
that shows how far we've come. And also, we also have to say, I know I was saying in Bio Show, I'll say it with you and James, Robbie, James. I still think at this moment in time to be 2 points clear of the league, looking down on everybody and hiding Man City, it is a magnificent position to be. And any other team, apart from Manchester City, would probably want to be in our position. So, you know, what have we got to complain about?
Yeah.
All right. Well, brilliant. I think we've
tackled everything.
Yeah,
there.
we've tackled
Good.
everything.
Thanks for
We've come to
joining
the
us,
end of the
Ty.
show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Ty?
DV
Thank
in the
you, Robbie.
comments
Thank
told
you,
me
James.
that I need to let you talk more, so apologies if
Oh,
I
no.
Talk
no,
more.
No,
He ain't stopped since he come in this morning.
I'll just say one more thing, and I want to say again, if that's okay. Congratulations once again to our fantastic ladies for thrashing Leon 5. What incredible achievement, and it's really changed the football European landscape for us, because we did that. What I didn't mention, Robbie, in the Bio Show, which is my fault, is that we were without our two best defenders in our talisman. I saw someone call her talismanic, so I'll even go one better and say Talis Womanic, Captain Liam Williamson, and Hafiele De Souza, who won the Copa America. And also Viv, our best manager, our best player, was on the bench. And we still beat Leon 5-1. Massive respect to our women. And obviously,
Absolutely right.
and also, I'm sorry, I didn't even mention this well. I'm sorry, I'm going a bit low down. I've got to still big up Manuela and our defence because we haven't conceded a goal in the Super League. And she's broken the record. So it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, they're doing amazingly well.
Absolutely.
Right, tomorrow, Forever Arsenal podcast is out. Another live show, I believe it's Laurie and Curtis.
Yep.
And more content,
And
of course.
out now is the Bias Premier League show and
Yep.
the excellent, unless your name's Dave Jordan, the excellent Tactical Insight show, right? Which I haven't watched yet, but I'm definitely gonna be taking it in later on.
Me too.
Right, we'll be back.
See if Dave Jordan's right.
You'll send me a message later going, this is poor, James.
Which he isn't.
This is poor.
He isn't. No, it's not Paul James. It's brilliant.
Guys, we're going to leave it there. Big thanks for joining this very special live show as Ty got to join us and we tackled
you very
everything.
much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much,
as
James.
Robbie mentioned, all the shows, but of course, we'll be in PSV. We'll be in
Yep.
Eindhoven. PSV's not a place. We'll be in Eindhoven.
Yes, amazing.
Hold on, wait a minute. Before we go, I know we're running over time.
I knew he's going to come back to me. I knew it.
Can you explain? The game's in Eindhoven, yeah?
It is, yeah.
Why are you going to Amsterdam?
I know, we're going to Amsterdam afterwards. After the
Why?
game. Oh,
Afterwards to do what?
just, have a tour of Amsterdam and see what it's like.
Tour of what?
Tour of Anne Frank's museum and all that. Oh, all these lovely bits. And the Ajax Stadium, just have a tour of Holland, the tulips, the clogs, the Edam cheese. Obviously, other cheese are available. Things like that, really.
Tulips, eh?
Yeah, tulips from Amsterdam. It's like a song. I told you I could make a song out of anything. Tulips from Amsterdam.
Ty is going on a date with Pat Butcher in Amsterdam.
Well, I'm sure you wish you were, but
All right, guys. We're going to leave it there. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you on the next
Thanks very much. Peace.